Hey there, friends and foes. Good evening, multiverse. This is Back of the Cereal Box presents Back Issue Breakfast Club, and I am your host, the prophet of pop culture, John Pica. You can call me Johnny Beyond, if you dare. And 1985. It was 1985, and John Byrne with Marvel released the Sensational She-Hulk graphic novel. It was by John Byrne with Kim DeMudler and Petra Scotese. This was number 18 in the Marvel graphic novel series that had already included The Life and Death of Captain Marvel, X-Men, God Loves, Man Kills, and The Aladdin Effect, Emperor Doom, and along comes the Sensational She-Hulk, and it would change everything for this character and for this fan. And we're going to dig into the Sensational She-Hulk graphic novel from 1985 right after we acknowledge our partners, Comic Books for Kids.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.
So proud to be aligned with them. Now, if you have never seen Back Issue Breakfast Club, the entire point of this show is to reintroduce our audience to something they've forgotten about, something from their past that is fueled by nostalgic memories, or to introduce you to something that you've never heard of before and that could be your brand new favorite. And for me, comic books were a big part of the Saturday mornings of our youth. That's what Back Issue Breakfast Club is about. That's what Back of the Cereal Box is about. You know, celebrating the fun of the Saturdays of our youth while sharing what we love in adulthood today. And for me, Saturdays meant jumping in our pajamas, grabbing big bowls of cereal, watching Saturday morning cartoons, then jumping on the bike and riding down to the drugstore to buy a big stack of comics. And that's what this show is about, remembering those great comics. And in 1985, I was 15 years old and had already become a huge fan of She-Hulk through the Avengers. Roger Stern brought her in as a member of the Avengers, and then John Byrne brought her into the Fantastic Four to replace Ben Grimm, who had stayed behind on Battleworld in the Marvel Superhero Secret Wars. So there's the master right there, John Byrne. And Kim DeMudler was the inker on this, and Petra Scotese was the colorist. Now, this was an original graphic novel, a complete story from beginning to end. I'm going to see how many pages this was. It was 72 pages. And this story is about Jennifer Walters really making the final transformation into the She-Hulk that we know today. Roger Stern had already done some amazing character work with her in the Avengers, and he and John Byrne worked really closely together on the Avengers and Fantastic Four, and they agreed to bring She-Hulk into the Fantastic Four. Well, shortly after she joined the Fantastic Four, this book came out. And I remember walking into Walden bookstores and seeing it on the shelf And I flipped through it dozens of times. And I must have shopped that thing 100 times before I bought it. Now, cover price is only $6.95. Today, that's like a no-brainer. But in 1985, that was a lot of money. So it took a while for me to save up for it. And by the time I bought it, I had probably read it a dozen times in Walden Books. This is a story about Jennifer Walters and her then boyfriend, Wyatt Wingfoot, having just a true She-Hulk adventure. She lets her wild side go. She is having fun. To prove that she is who she says she is, she strips nude. That was scandalous back then. And she says, maybe you'd like me to jump rope for you. And that would become a running gag when John Byrne released the ongoing series, Sensational She-Hulk. But this was just a super fun adventure with She-Hulk, Wyatt Wingfoot, S.H.I.E.L.D. It is John Byrne's, I mean, it is peak John Byrne. This is John Byrne at his absolute best. And you know when you can tell that a writer or an artist loves the characters that they're working with? Well, this was obvious with John Byrne. John Byrne drew and wrote She-Hulk with so much care and so much love and attention and so much fun. And it shows through this book the entire way. At the end, spoiler alert, Jennifer subjects herself to super high levels of radiation. And the end result is Reed tells her that she can no longer switch back and forth between her human and She-Hulk form. And she's fine with that. She loves that. She's like, where's the problem? So, great story. This is a great book. And here's the great thing. You can still find this pretty cheap at bookstores and flea markets and comic shops. I got this new copy for $10. And I say new, it's new to me. The old copy I have, I lost in the 2010 flood in Nashville. Our house flooded and I lost thousands of comic books, including my original copy of the Sensational She-Hulk. I picked this up at a flea market a couple of weeks ago for $10. And I hadn't read it since 1985, 1986. And I fell in love with this character all over again. And if you've been watching the show, you know that I am a She-Hulk fanatic. I love this character. And if you've seen the Disney Plus series and you're not quite sure what is really happening, the roots of that series start right here with the way John Byrne wrote the character, the way that he cultivated her character. And if you really want to understand She-Hulk today, go pick up the Sensational She-Hulk graphic novel. You'll look better for it. Well, that's it for this week. Super short episode. I hope you like it. If you do like the show, make sure you comment, post an emoji, a thumbs up, a heart, share it with your friends and family, whatever platform you're watching this on. Make sure that you like and subscribe so that you never miss another episode. And of course, if you're watching it in advance on Patreon, tell other people to come join the Patreon community because of all the great perks you get. But one of the great perks is that you guys get Back Issue Breakfast Club before anybody else. And we got some great shows coming up in the next couple of weeks. But go check out Sensational She-Hulk. And until the next time, love you, mean it. We'll catch you on the back of the cereal box.
It's like Coca-Cola, Levi.